All right, guys, welcome back to the Come Down podcast. We're here today with my good friend Chance Willie.
What's up? That's what's called the Come Down podcast?
It's called the Come Down podcast.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
baby.
So you got the right guest. I've been coming down for 5 years. Good to be here. How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm just processing right now.
Yeah, so you shot one before this, huh?
Yeah, we shot one with Sam Brooks before this. Good friend of mine and
Actor friend?
actor friend. He actually just filmed he filmed a Netflix movie. So we're talking about that. Just
Oh,
getting into
really?
it. Yeah.
Man, they'll give anybody a Netflix movie these days, won't
I
they?
swear.
Is anybody just cranking that shit out?
Oh, we'll take one next.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I heard they're hemorrhaging money. By the way, I would love, if anybody from Netflix is watching this, I would love to work on it.
If you had a
anything.
Netflix movie, what would it be called?
If I had a Netflix movie, what would it be called? Probably a single white female. It'd be after I transition, because the only way I'm
Featuring
getting the only way I'm getting a Netflix special is if I change my gender. So be post-op. Post-op would be a good name for a movie. Post-op, and then like I actually have to go through the surgery to get the movie. That'd be wild. Well, this is off to a bad start. All right, and we're starting now. Oh, so what's up, man?
Dude, man. Oh, man.
Every time I
It's
see
good
you,
to
you're like
have
in
you.
Hawaii, you're in LA.
Yeah, man. I just got back. I was staying in a house full of like 11 guys.
Nice.
In the hills, and most of the guys are like in entertainment, or they're like DJs or they're content creators. And
Damn, Scientology, or what are you doing out there?
I was not doing shit out there. I was just fucking surfing, hanging out, and meeting people, honestly. But my friend Jay like brought me into the group, and they like let me stay there for pretty much as long as I wanted. So it was a hookup, but it was a good time, man. I met a ton of fucking people, and like lifestyle and culture there is so different than it is here.
In Hawaii?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would imagine so.
just
But
in the sense of like you're so cut off from literally anything that's
you're
happening
literally
in the
so
mainland.
isolated. If
Yeah.
you look at it in a map, it's like it's like
Yeah.
it's nothing.
It's
like
literally
there's
a
nothing.
speck in the fucking Pacific Ocean.
That's so wild. Can you still go to Pearl Harbor? Can you like go do like a tour of Pearl
I think
Harbor?
so. I mean,
I would love to do that.
I think so.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know, dude. I was networking. I don't care about history, you fucking nerd.
I didn't have a car out there, so I was kind of just going with the
Right.
flow.
You're at the mercy of
of everyone else.
Right,
I like
the-
rented a scooter for like 2 weeks, but then I was
you're
like,
scooting around
I
Hawaii.
was scooting, bro.
Can you imagine, dude? So just let's go back in time for a moment, dude. To Ottawa High School, dude. Oh shit. Oh, that's Kid Rock? Is that gonna pick up the doorbell on the mic?
Oh, it's a
No, I
package.
hope it does. I just didn't know if the joke would work or not. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes, like when I'm doing stand up, I'll hear like a very minuscule. Whenever I'm doing stand up, I'm like hyper aware of everything that's going on
Yeah.
around me, and I'm like ADD. So I'll try to like comment on things
Yeah.
I hear
Like
and
triggers?
see.
Like little
Yeah,
triggers?
and then nobody else in the audience can see or hear what I'm talking about, and I'll do shit like that. I'll be like, Kid Rock's here, and they'll be like, is he having a stroke? Like what the fuck? So I'm a
So
little.
what is he talking about? All
Okay,
right,
so let's go back in time.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Ottawa High School, dude. We're in your what was it, a Saab? What was the one with it had the roof gone? But not in like a cool way. Not
the Toyota Celica?
Not like I dropped my top, like the roof was just gone.
It was a 1989 Toyota Celica.
Toyota Celica rag top.
Sheesh.
Yeah, dude, you and me were at fucking Pump 19 at the BP
At
and
a gas
exit 1. Yeah. Dude, David is up the road at Cleveland. Sucking dick for varsity spots.
It still didn't get varsity.
Dude, Nate Rose is battle rapping in the fucking locker room.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, I remember one time we were at Pump 19, and I think we like passed out because we were fucking on drugs or something. I woke up at like 4 in the morning. I look up and there's like 3 cops. Just chilling.
Waiting for y'all to wait.
Chilling, dude.
I'm like, bro, we gotta go.
We gotta split. But can you imagine back then? Could you imagine that we'd be like, we would have done anything of any value to anything in society, albeit you scooting around Hawaii
Yeah.
And I mean, it's amazing that we didn't end up, just
It
like
is,
everyone else in
man.
our hometown, just addicted to opioids, just still at the gas station.
Right.
That's what a lot of motherfuckers are still
Still
doing right
there.
now.
I would say
Not
most
us, dude.
people-
We're making content. We gotta. we're in a tall and skinny. One of the you can't see it, but that wall right there I'm looking at, it has like grass on it. It's like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like that we're in a fucking.
We have come.
We made
no,
it.
We have come a long way, bro. Because we were like, out of all of our friends, man, we were like the ones that were slumming it.
Totally.
Through high school, like actually slumming it. Like,
Yeah.
didn't have nice cars. We were in shit, and we like embraced. Having like the shittiest situation.
I think there's something to be said about that, is embracing your shitty situation, because I think a lot of the people we grew up around were like rich, and I think they kind of didn't have as like, when you grow up with a lot of money, there's not a lot of stakes as much,
Right.
not that there's anything wrong with that lifestyle, but I think when you don't have that, you gotta kind of figure out what the fuck you're doing. You gotta decide who you're gonna fucking be, because nobody's coming to you. My dad's not coming to me and being like, all right, even if none of this college stuff works out, I got you a job. Like, you don't have that kind of safety net.
To me, it's like it makes you take more risks.
Yeah.
Whether it's like good risk or bad risk.
You don't even realize that you're taking the risks.
No,
you're just
you
caught
don't.
up in a lifestyle where there's
you're just doing dumb shit.
There's a
and
lot
fucking
of
around.
risky shit going down. It's a lot of
Just taking a lot of Adderall.
the at-risk youth. Dude, I wish I could go back in time to when I was like 18, 19 and just like give myself a hug and be like, just you're good, man. Just chill.
Yeah, just take it
chill.
easy.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Just hang out. I just feel like we were always trying to get, like, we were actively looking for trouble. Like every night, I was just like, "What are we doing? What's the move? Let's go get fucked up." And I was just
go to
like,
Rin's house and get fucked up with eat some 40s.
Yeah.
Do you feel like an inkling of that for both of you guys has kind of like translated into what like the amount of new things that you try in your career now?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and B, I think when you're sitting there, like freaked out on, I don't know, let's say I remember one time, like, I took way too many pain pills, and I was the decision to do it is insane.
Yeah.
And then writing it out when you're freaked out and scared.
Yeah.
I think that kind of stuff. Not that you should glamorize drugs, but when you like that decision, I still do shit like that. Like, I'll make insane decisions, and then once it gets hairy, I'll write it out and be like, "You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay."
I think that's what
You know
we're
I
used
mean?
to. We're used to fucking. I mean,
Does that make sense to that?
no, it
answer?
does.
I know what
Like,
you're saying,
I remember this is like kind of similar, but kind of different. Like, I remember I took a way too much shrooms at Bonnaroo, and I remember like fucking running around with you, and I was like, it's like, dude, I'm fucking way too high, and you're just like, just take it easy, rest, just write it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess
When
I
you
have
do that,
to,
when you write out like a mushroom trip, like you do, once you get back into real life, I feel like you have a superpower. You're like, if I can make it through that kind of psychological torture, I can figure out.
It
makes not having healthcare for a year a little less scary. I'll say that. And then I think just in general, I can't speak to your home life, but it probably reflect. I could feel like that's people who have similar shit going on at home, I think, find each other and kind of build a community.
I definitely
and
agree.
I think I was definitely like running from shit. And I think you were definitely running from some things.
Yeah.
So I think that propelled us into
a friendship.
A friendship, and just like always trying to go out and be the life of the party, right?
Yeah.
And I still think that I try to curb those behaviors as much as possible and not like seek the validation from people. But I do think it definitely, that same core principle of like who I am and who I decided to be as a young person it has in a lot of ways helped me in entertainment for sure.
I can definitely agree with that. I definitely feel like it's given me a lot more confidence to me as a person now. You know what I mean? Just growing up and just being an absolute fuck, or just being whoever I wanted to be.
You remember that one summer we wouldn't wear a shirt? You remember that?
Fuck
we were like, we're not wearing a shirt all summer, and we just go to people's houses and it'd be like a black tie event, and we'd be like, dude, I'm not wearing a fucking shirt, dude. Look at these bitch ass motherfuckers wearing shirts.
We're fucking yelling at people, dude.
Dude, get your fucking shirt off, men. Doing that to men.
Dude. Was that during the time of Dream World, whenever we were fucking?
Oh yeah, so that was another thing. It's like me and Eric were both kind of like broke kids, but we were like fun. And then we would always like end up at rich people's houses because they had the best
Always.
cocaine. And then one time we like weaseled our fucking way into this place. It was like these kids who went to Macaulay, which is like the boarding like all male school in our hometown. And we like weaseled our way in, and we like stayed at this lake house for like a month. And every day we'd wake up and just be laughing like, dude, they're gonna find out we're poor. Like, when is it coming?
Just
We were
doing
like
drugs, drinking,
we were
fucking,
like
fucking around
yeah.
on jet skis. Dude.
We were like Anne Frank on acid, just up in the fucking. We'd be like staying up in the attic, like, dude, they're coming for us eventually. But they're like, shh. You hear us clicking away on our typewriter.
We were there for weeks, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah,
this
dude.
This place is sick,
Dude, it was so crazy because it's like I just grew up in like a shithole. Like you used to
Exactly.
smoke weed in my garage. You remember that?
Yeah,
Like,
right,
it was a
fucking raps.
shithole. It was a shithole. And then we would like just like wake up and like you're hungover, and then like the sun is peeking through like a bay window on the lake, and like
Yeah.
people are pulling up on jet
Jet
skis. They're like, "We got you
skis,
guys
yeah.
breakfast." You're
Yeah,
like, "How did
what?
this?"
You bought us breakfast?
It definitely taught me that like, oh, if you're funny, like you
Yeah.
can finesse.
You can
It's like a
easily
back
finesse.
door into
Or
getting
if you-
shit.
like you said, if you're like the life of the party, or you have that certain persona, you can definitely get yourself into like cool situations like that.
I agree.
Which was like, I feel like that was like we thought we were peaking, dude. That was like, it's never getting better than this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at that time, we were like, it's never getting better.
I know. I was. Yeah. People say like the peaked in high school thing, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like that.
Definitely not, man. I feel like
I feel like that was a low, you know, emotionally.
Definitely.
I mean, we were
Emotionally, yeah,
having
man.
fun, but it was like I wasn't looking at any of like my trauma or any of that shit.
No,
Like I was
no.
totally just getting fucked up all the
No,
time.
yeah. I remember going up to Murfreesboro. We would go to like Queenie's
Yeah.
or yeah, we used to go up there and just fucking fuck around on the weekends.
Oh
and
yeah.
just-
So I went to. Did you go to MTSU for college?
Mm-mm.
You didn't.
yeah.
Did you go to school? You didn't.
No,
No.
did not. No,
That's the smart thing to do. You have no debt.
it's the debt. Yeah, that's why.
You
I
got-
went, I went for a year, and then I was like, nah, I'm gonna peace out.
I went to school for literally probably like, and if not the same, but like adjacent kind of skill set that you
Yeah.
use every day in your job. I didn't learn as much as you probably know just from doing it hands-on. And I also like, well, I don't have debt, but everyone else I know has debt from it. It's like you made the total correct decision, which I'm sure I don't need to tell you that.
Wait, so you went for a little bit too?
I went
and then
for, I graduated from MTSU
Gotcha,
and
gotcha.
I studied digital media communication.
Got you.
So it was like, it was like a sampler platter of like all the like new media skills.
Yeah.
But it was like 2012, so it was like not like there wasn't like a defined path for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they were just like, I don't know, do some video editing and
Yeah.
do some fucking like
Figure it out.
journalism and
Yeah.
I just used college as like an opportunity to keep doing the same shit. Like I took a class, like a journalism class, but the only reason I took it is because at the end of the year they'd pay for you to go to Bonnaroo.
I remember
right,
that.
yeah.
Dang, that's
And
kinda cool,
Chuck
though.
Norwood hooked me up with that. R.I.P.
That's
the
kinda
King.
dope.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah.
the Legend.
Absolutely.
So you had to be recommended for the class, and then we would like. So I've like published articles in the Tennessean.
That's sick.
Yeah, from Bonnaroo. But I was just like, I went to Bonnaroo, and like you were supposed to work while you were there. Like there was like a hub, like a.
I'm pretty sure I went that year too.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we
there was
went
like a
to-
media hub where you were supposed to like go and work every day,
Yeah.
and then you go to concerts at Bonnaroo, but only to report. But I would never show up, and I would just like get fucked up on mushrooms, and then I go like watch like I'd be like, I gotta go watch Glass Animals so I can write a
Gotta go watch
300
Cage the
word.
Elephant again
Yeah, I gotta go
for
watch
the full
Cage
fourth
the Elephant.
time.
Dude, I saw Cage the Elephant like 10 times, and
They
now I
were there
listen to that
every
music. I'm like, I
year.
don't even like this music. But I was just like going to see them.
I remember seeing you one day at Rue, dude. You were in like your underwear, no shirt, no pants. You were just like, fuck it up. You're not
and
wearing
then
a goddamn shirt.
I would
no
write
goddamn
I would write
pants.
articles on my phone, and then I would send them to like my editor, and he'd be like, "Dude, this is horrible. Are you fucking high right now?" And I'd be like, "No." And he knew, of course. I saw him years later at like a concert at Bridgestone, and he was like in a Grateful Dead T-shirt, like more fucked up
Yeah.
than like anybody else there. And I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
he
you're
gets it.
cool." Like old school journalism guys were like cool.
Yeah.
They're like they were like the post hippie shit, so they were like
Oh, that's gnarly.
cool dudes. Yeah, I met a lot of interesting people at MTSU, but
was a
I
good
don't know
time.
if I would recommend college to people now. People are wise to that now. Like the
People,
generation,
yeah, people are.
man.
It's way more
the
like.
generation under us is like, fuck this, dude.
Well, like
Especially
no
when you
one.
can make $1 million off TikTok.
Yeah, I mean,
For
well, it's
real.
Like, jeez.
Well,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
no one told us about the debt you would have and like
Yeah,
the total play of the outcome of college. Like no one.
Well,
No
they
one
told
talked
you.
about that. No,
They put the numbers on paper.
no. That it was pretty much forced down.
That's why I didn't do it. I seen it and I was like, nah, I can't. I'm not. The first year I was 10,000. I was like, okay, so by the end of this I'm gonna be close to $50,000 in debt.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, no, sir, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I get what you're saying though, because they hide it in like certain keywords, like whatever those something.
No, they do. You were just smart, but we were just like,
Yeah, I guess
they
that was
do
high.
show you. There's places you can find it, but
I
we
guess
were
that
just
was
like,
fucked
fuck it,
up.
whatever. I'm not gonna look. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
I guess whatever. I guess
I'm not
we'll just
gonna
go.
take the energy required to get on a
You want me to
computer.
read?
Yeah, I just did college because of like why everyone else does college, which is like they feel like they should. It's like a guilt-driven
I wasn't.
industry.
That's true.
I wasn't
100%.
enrolled until a week before. I remember talking to Thomas Dance, and I was like, "Hey, bro, like, are you going? Like, it was like a party or something." He's like, "Hey, bro,
Yeah.
you going?"
Yeah,
He's like, "What's what? Like college?"
yeah,
He's
and
like,
I just
"Yeah,
made the
man."
decision based on like where my friends were going.
Yeah,
It's like such a stupid
that's
thing to
so
do.
dumb.
Yeah, I feel like I would, I would love to go back now to college and study like something, like just if I had like a bunch of money to throw around,
Yeah.
and time,
Something cool, like
I would love to go.
African American history.
Yeah, something cool like African American history. Hulu, I'm available.
No, I do have a question for you.
More like
Chance.
Zulu. Damn, can we get a white guy on a Hulu show? No, I'm kidding.
I have a question for you though, because you said you did digital media in college. What was like your first introduction into doing stand up?
Stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school, I did improv, which I can't believe I just said out loud. Improv and stand-up hate each other. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
not
But it's
aware.
like, yeah, because improvisers are like happy people, and in stand-ups are like miserable, brooding. Like those are the archetypes of people.
Yeah.
It's like you ever like. It's kind of how like Tennessee fans will say that like they're like rivals with Alabama, but Alabama's like, dude, we don't give what? Yeah,
you haven't
it's
beat
like
us in,
it's a
20 years.
one-sided thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stand-ups just don't like improvisers, but improvisers like everybody's cool.
Yeah.
They're just like happy, well-adjusted people.
Yeah, they're like, "Fuck you."
But anyway, I did improv in high school, and then when my dad died, I spoke at his funeral, and then I got laughs at the funeral, and I was like, I'm gonna try this shit, and then I just started doing open mics after that. Yeah.
That was sick.
I remember I don't know if it was your first one, but like you did it like a 5-10 minute set at Tremont Tavern, like probably
Yeah.
your
Oh,
first one,
shit.
like your first one.
I blocked out that memory. But yeah, I did a set it was like a music open mic.
Yeah, and then you left like your book of jokes, your little like you had like I had like some sort of like composition book.
Yeah.
You like left it in my car, and I was like, "Hey, like, do you want this back?" And you're like, "Nah, fuck it."
No, throw that shit in the trash.
Throw that
I
shit in the
still
trash.
do that. People will be like, "Hey, do you want this?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." Throw that shit away. Yeah, I did a music open mic at Tremont Tavern in Chattanooga, and I was like, "Can I go up and do comedy?" And they're like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
And then I went up. I did all right, I guess, but it was like, dude, like that was so stupid. I like invited friends to come.
I remember that.
God damn.
We're all
dude.
just like standing there, like, you know what I mean?
Vibing. You're just like supportive, just the guys, you know. You're
There's
just
some
happy to
fucking
support.
40-year-old drinking beer and eating a burger, dude.
Dude,
Bags.
I'll tell you this: the first like few years you do stand up, you do not want anyone to come see you.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's
just
interesting because
horrible.
like
Yeah.
you guys have known each other for a while, and you've seen, you've met Eric before
Yeah, totally.
you were doing stand up, but I only know you as like a Zanies. Like I met you at Zanies.
I met you at Zany.
Right. So it's like I'm trying to figure out where was the moment where you were like, I'm not just going to open mics, but I'm going to
Right.
be at like I'm gonna try to be. This is my job.
Thank God David's here to direct this conversation,
Thank
man,
God.
because we'd just be sitting here.
I'm
telling
actually
stories.
curious though.
No, I am. I'm glad that. No, I'm sincere. So I'll lay it out like this. So when you're going to open mics, there's just kind of this, you're directionless and you don't really know what's going on. I set a goal for myself. I was like, a year from now, I want to perform at Zany's, and then I did the first time I ever did Zany's was not that moment because I ate shit.
Yeah.
And I was Dusty Slay booked me, and I bombed so hard that he felt so bad he gave me money out of his pocket. And he was like, "I'm sorry about that." And then then I guess about 2.5 to 3 years in, I did a showcase. So they book like 8 comedians,
Right.
and then the booker watches you, and whoever does really well kind of you get passed.
Gotcha.
Right.
And that was the time I did really well. I crushed at that show, and I was like, oh, you feel it. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, man, this is like I just leveled up.
Yeah.
Looking back now, I'd be like, oh, that was dog shit. But at the time, you're like, this is good.
Yeah.
And then after that, the booker approached me and was like, would you like to do a hosting weekend here? So then you get booked shows, and then
Yeah.
you open for somebody doing
Right.
the first spot. And I think that weekend I opened for it was like 2 weeks afterwards, I opened for Clayton English and Joe Mackey, and that was like the first time I was like, okay, I'm like making money from stand up. I'm working towards this. I still had a day job, but there was like the career was starting to like have a shape around it. You're not just a drunk guy going to open mics, you know.
Yeah, I remember I would see you on Second Ave on Broadway.
Yeah,
You'd be at work, and I'd have a bike full of bachelorettes.
yeah, I know, dude.
You'd be on the phone just like, fuck you, dude.
Dude, that's my favorite part about actually knowing Eric, you know, is like if you look at his like social media presence, it's like I'm in Hawaii, you know, it's like he's like a very big, like his brand is like the plane emoji, you know what I mean? You know, but then
That's the logo.
I see, dude, but to me Eric is just like the cowboy, like it's like the clown with a cowboy hat emoji, like that's how I see you. Like the world sees you as like this guy is like Mr. Influencer, but I'm like, this dude's a fucking clown. That's the guy I love, you know. So I'd be like, I check Eric's post and he's like, you know, just fucking like jet set, just like Drake lyrics and shit. And then I'd see his goofy ass on Broadway, like rolling around these like bachelorettes, like he's it's a bunch of girls in the back and they're singing like Miranda Lambert. And I'd be like, what's up, motherfucker?
Twain,
Yeah, and he'd be like, God, you would just shake your head and be like, God damn, dude.
It's like, don't tell a single fucking soul.
It was kind of this we would just pass each other like ships in the night, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was down there working my horrible fucking day job.
Yeah.
It wasn't that horrible. It was fine. I had benefits. I was working.
I had health insurance. It was fine.
I had health insurance. It was actually a much more stable thing.
I still don't have health insurance.
I don't either, man.
Me either.
Cheers to that.
I need it though, because this thing.
What happened to your finger?
I have a huge wart on my finger. It's been living rent free for 4 years. And so I dug the other night. I got mad at it. I was frustrated because I was like, this is kind of gross. So I dug into it and tried to rip it off.
Yeah.
But it's hurting now, so I had to like wrap it up.
fine.
But I need health insurance because it costs $800 to get it removed.
Fuck.
So I was like, I don't have health insurance, so that's why I did that.
Really?
Yeah.
It was $800.
Yeah, because it's on, I don't know, I guess it's on my
Isn't
finger.
that fucked?
Oh,
That's
really?
whack. It's
That's
like bro, this
crazy,
is just
man.
a small wart. Like,
It feels like something you could do yourself though.
yeah, I mean, I almost got it gone. It's just, fucked my finger up.
I had one taken off, and the way they took it off medically was they
Froze it, right?
no, they dissected it.
Oh shit.
So it was like a biopsy technically, I think is what you would file it under health insurance. But they insert a needle under the wart, under the skin, and then pump it full of fluid so that it rises up. Like it creates a bump under the wart so that all of it rises to the top, and then they cut it off like that.
Jeez, that's what I need.
Yeah, it was
You
pretty
should have
gnarly.
just YouTubed it.
Yeah,
I
you should have
did.
just YouTubed it. I'm really into self-surgery.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
I've had like a couple like pretty serious jaw surgeries
Yeah.
done, so I love to watch like YouTube videos of like people getting jaw surgery and stuff and having their whole face opened up and like taking screws out of their jaw.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's like some people like pimple popping videos and stuff like that. I like to
Those
see
always
those
come up
things
on
get
those.
like,
Gross.
worked on, you know?
I've seen some crazy pimples being popped. I'm talking like some massive.
The ones that are just like squirting like a.
Yeah, just
it's
huge.
disgusting.
Oh yeah, where they have to
Yeah.
get both
Yeah.
hands involved.
Hits him in the lip.
He's like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Just wrestling the wart. Yeah. I
They're
don't
like
know.
Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing when he's doing the clay thing behind her. You know, and it's like, but you're like trying to wrestle the pus out of a wart. This is disturbing. We just lost our female market. That's it. There's, who's gonna watch this? About 10 sorority girls from UTC. I say that I still talk like I'm in college because I'm constant. I'm like, I have like Arrested Development. It's like, dude, you're like 28 now. Like, you're not
old
young
as
and
fuck.
cute anymore.
Oh,
How long?
man.
How long till this shit's not cute that we're doing? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'd say,
I'd say
think
about
it's
a year
actually-
ago.
I'd say 2018.
Yeah, exactly. I think about that all the time. I'm like, the clock's ticking until people are
Oh
like,
man, I
what
think
the fuck
about
do
it
you do with
too.
your life?
I also just like try to put it in the back of my head and just.
That's good. That's a good place to keep it. Yeah, just keep it back there with the gay thoughts and the childhood trauma. Just file it away.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Under dreams, under tea for dreams.
It seems like guys can be older now and do the influencer thing though, because that old guy on David Dobrik, you know what I'm talking about? The guy
No.
with the
Yeah,
gray
I'm talking
hair.
about.
I'm like, that guy's in his 50s and he's still doing
Well,
influencer
I
stuff.
don't know. I'm not
Ethan Klein, he's a little old. The H3 guy. He looks old.
Yeah, he is.
He has
You're talking
gray
about the podcast guy, right?
I think you just have to age gracefully no matter what you do.
I think we've.
It's
done
easier in
that.
stand up, but what you're doing, it's like
course,
it could get hairy if you don't play your cards right. You know what I mean?
Well,
You got to be like
it will get hairy.
it will get hairy. But
Yeah.
all you got to do is just, and also that you're like a beautiful Jamaican prince. Like you won't age as fast as I will, so you can lie about your age
True.
for a while. Yeah,
I've been lying about my age,
I know you are.
so I'm not gonna say it on camera.
Exactly, but only to the 17-year-olds at Kung Fu Saloon.
They're upstairs, buddy.
Are they? God, that place is a hellhole. Anyway,
So I want to talk about.
yeah, you have a list,
I
right?
want to talk about. Yeah, the fuck is this thing? Yeah, I want to talk about tour life. With Theo, because that's like I feel like that was a huge step for you, and I remember hearing about it.
For sure, yeah.
Just being like I don't know, being super proud about that. So
Thanks, man. That's
yeah,
sweet.
how was that, man? I mean,
Touring with Theo?
yeah.
Just rock star shit every day.
Yeah,
you know,
nothing
No,
crazy, just some.
Dude, it's just literally like it's me and Theo, and then like his business manager and everyone on the tour. He met in recovery
Oh, nice.
because he's like sober and I'm sober, so it's just like we're just sitting around on the bus like talking about our feelings and shit all day, and then we go do the show, and then we like eat dinner. It's like very.
It sounds like
It's weirdly relaxing.
yeah. It sounds very
yeah.
like mature.
It is mature. Well, I mean, yeah, I think Theo is, and you would never know this maybe by watching his podcast because he's such a kind of carefree, youthful dude. But I mean, he takes his career very seriously. He works very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, all day on the bus, we're kind of we're making clips, and he has a videographer, and we're kind of we're creating stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Together, and then when I try to work on stuff throughout the day on the bus has Wi-Fi, so it's just a
You have
lot.
Wi-Fi on the bus.
Wi-Fi on the bus.
You remember that one time I fucking
Can't shit on the bus, but you can post.
I had a phone, but I didn't have service for like a good period of time where I was living off people's Wi-Fi, so I would go over to people's houses just to use their Wi-Fi.
Cute.
So I could
That's a good look.
Right? What's up, ladies?
Sitting at McDonald's on Tinder, swiping ravenously. You're like paying for Tinder, but you don't have data.
Dude, that was my life for like 5-6 months. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. What was the darkest chapter of your life?
Oof.
What was like
Jeez.
the place you were like, "Whoo, this cannot get any worse"? Mine was definitely whenever Kramer was living at the Scorpion Ranch.
Oof. Yeah, I remember he fucking. I remember being brainwashed and being kind of under his mind control for like a solid year.
Yeah. Okay. So if you don't know what we're talking about, we have a friend from high school, Dylan Kramer, who is if he wanted to, he could very easily pivot.
He could take
and
over the
He
world.
could be a cult leader. Yeah.
Yeah, he could take over the world.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so darkest chapter in your life.
Yeah, I remember just like being over with Bryce Rainey,
We were at Bryce Randy's
taking
house.
Adderall and drinking platinum.
Yeah, we were
vodka.
doing pills, and then he had had like 7 cats.
7 cats,
And he
dude.
just had the litter box, they
Yeah.
would
Just cat shit
strategically
everywhere.
placed all throughout the house to be as gross as humanly possible. So
Yeah.
it just smelled
Just being
like cat
there,
shit.
like-
And we're both allergic to cats.
So allergic, dude.
Yeah. See that I would go back to that and just be like, go home.
Yeah.
Go home and talk to your mom.
Like-
just talk
like,
it out.
We spent so much time there, and I was just like strung out and fucked up and like
Yeah.
bro culture. You know what I mean? Just
Bro
like
culture.
being in that.
Romanticizing
How old
our
are you guys?
addiction issues.
Yeah.
18, 19.
Yeah,
Jeez,
about-
dude,
yeah,
I don't even
18,
know any of
19.
this stuff. I'm just over here like, damn, you guys did the most.
Yeah,
That's
we were
insane.
we were
We were
quite,
like in like a different world though. Like
Yeah.
we weren't in like the normal society. Like we were like
We
oh.
live in a society, dude. Yeah, we wore a lot of Joker makeup. No, we were. It was we were living like certainly I guess an alternate. We were at risk youth.
Yeah.
You know what I
at
mean?
risk.
We
Yeah.
were at risk youth.
That's what it was.
But yeah, the Theo Tour stuff is like it's unbelievable, man.
That's sick.
It's I can't believe it's happening to me type of shit.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'm
It's
on a
blessing.
bus.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
it's sick.
Yeah, and I send my favorite part about it is a lot of men in my family are like truckers, and being on the road all the time, they've just lived this life where it's outside of their network of buddies they probably just talk to on like CB radios. Like
Yeah.
it's very isolating for them. Like no one
course.
else in their life can relate to it. But now I'm like starting to bridge that gap with them because like all these like weird little towns I go to and
Yeah.
being on the road all the time,
Yeah.
we share like a language.
That's tight.
Kinda, or I'm starting to speak their language. I'll be like, I'm in Dubuque this week, and I can reach out to like my older like uncles, and they'll be like, "Oh shit," and I'll send them pictures from the tour bus, and they're just like, my uncle, like a bunch of people in my family like played music too, and it's just very cool to be able to share that stuff with people in my family.
I think we came up to Nashville one time to see, like, I think your uncle was playing.
Yeah.
At one of the bars.
Yeah, my uncle Dave is in a band called the Willies in Nashville. They're like a New Orleans jazz punk band.
Sick.
Yeah.
They were gnarly.
He and his wife are in it together. He plays stand-up bass, and she plays piano.
They were rocking. I remember being
They're really good.
Time.
You should check out the Willies if you get an opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's just I find like it's a cool. all I'm trying to maintain right now that the best part, anything you get in life is not as rewarding if you can't share it with people.
Yeah.
So I just try to keep that in mind. Like we did the Tivoli in Chattanooga. I went on tour with Theo, and we did the Tivoli Theater in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I opened up, and I was able to bring my mother backstage.
Yeah.
And then after the show, I like brought my mom on stage, and we looked out at all the empty seats. And she looked at me, and she told me, she was like, you know, when I was a kid, when I was 13 years old, I came here and I saw Gone with the Wind live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like,
Now our son's performing.
yeah, it's like the stuff like that where you get to like, hey mom, I'm sorry I was such a fuck up in high school, but like it was going somewhere. Like I'm okay now.
Yeah.
And just to be able to give your mom that kind of like peace of mind, to give my uncles that peace of mind that I'm like doing something with my life is like,
I know your mom loves that.
it's a load off.
Yeah.
It's a relief. I'll tell you that.
I know she's
because
proud.
for a while it's like, what the fuck
for
is
a
this
long
kid
while,
doing?
dude. For a long while.
What are you doing?
From like 16 on, dude.
And that craziest thing is that is what I was doing. I was just killing time, like.
Yeah.
And then I kind of backed into a career doing
but
it.
I do think that like it all needed to happen because
it comes out in the wash.
Because like, listen, bro, like if it didn't happen, like what if it came out in your career?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what if these issues, these certain
that happens to a lot of, I feel like a lot of musicians,
Yeah,
they like get
totally
the fame.
And then things come out. But I feel like with you and with me, it's like we've already like we put in around 10 years of like serious shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've kind of dabbled in everything and
Yeah.
went through the lows, went through highs, went
Right.
through probably some more lows. But like we've kind of grown from that.
I know. It's the classic archetype of the guy who doesn't do anything in high school, and then when he gets to college, like he goes crazy.
Goes nuts.
You know, it's like you all know a guy like that who's very straight-laced, like valedictorian kind of dude. And then he goes to college where he has like unlimited freedom.
Yeah.
And then they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And they like get fucked up too often and like can mess up.
Easily mess up a lot of shit.
And that's how I feel now in like my, you know, I'm 27. I'm about to turn 28.
Yeah.
Everyone I know who's like approaching 30, like is, they go out every weekend and they get fucked up. And I'm just not interested in that. I'm sober every weekend. Every weekend I'm working. I don't really like, you know,
which is fucking
when I'm
more
not
important.
working, I'm like making stuff and it's just weirdly, I still live a very alternative lifestyle just without drugs and alcohol. Yeah. So,
dude, let's get into that one night, the one night we all remember on Fraser's Island. I know you've talked about it.
Oh, dude, this was like the most important thing that ever happened to me.
I think, this is a very pivotal time in my life because you guys don't know this, but I literally almost. So,
set it up.
Yeah, let's just talk about it. There's this one night that our friend Michael Frazee, he has.
Should we be saying his name?
Luckily,
he's also into very alternative lifestyles, so I don't think it really matters.
Pretty much, we all took.
He's not gonna have a guy from HR approach him. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Well, we get sued.
That guy pulls up on a snowboard. He's like, Frazee, I heard you were on a podcast. They were telling stories about you, man. That dude is wild.
He is wild. Dude, we took a bunch of mushrooms on his island, man, and
his island. Okay, here, let me set this up because this sounds like it didn't happen the way you're saying it. Yeah, dude. So we went to an island, and then we're just doing mushrooms.
We were shredding gnar.
No, okay. So it wasn't an island. First of all, it was a peninsula. So there was. So our friend Michael Frazee, his house like was on like Harrison Bay, which is like a huge body of water in Chattanooga. The back of his property like jutted out into the bay, and it was like a peninsula, like it looked like a dick going out into
Huge. Well,
and his house got destroyed by the tornado.
I
You
know.
remember that?
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
there was no house there, but they still had the property. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna come out here and party.
There was like
on
one
the
bonfire
peninsula.
pit. That's it.
Yeah.
And like a table.
So we all went out there and we took like we all took, it was our, I think like our first time taking a serious amount of mushrooms.
Yeah.
And
We
there
were
was
smoking
like
hookah too.
Yeah, we're smoking hookah too.
Or fucking who knows what it was.
But it was like what, like 6 of us?
Yeah, 6 or
And
7
then
of us.
we all took the mushrooms and we start feeling good, and then like one thing leads to another. And dude, fast forward, I don't remember. I've been telling this story on stage and I've been trying to piece together how it happened in my mind, and I've just been blaming Queenie for
No,
it.
it is 100% Queen's fault because he's just like, why don't we get naked?
He really was.
Why do I
right?
get naked?
That's how I remember it. He was like, dude, we should just.
What?
He was like, we should just explore our bodies.
Yeah,
and like,
he's like,
get,
let's just.
he was like, I just feel like getting naked right now, like Call of the Wild, you know?
Yeah.
And we're all like, all right, dude.
All right.
Fast forward, we're all butt ass naked in the water.
Yeah, dude. We all somehow just were like, all right, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
We
so
will
we
get
so we go
naked.
skinny dipping or whatever. Well, that's normal behavior, I
For
guess.
6 guys.
For 6 straight guys
I've
to
never
just
heard
get
this
naked
story.
and go skinny dipping. And then
And he's like, oh, like let's swim to the other island.
let's
Or
swim.
or
Yeah, so
to
there's
the
like an
other side.
island out in the middle of the thing, and we're trying to swim to
Yeah.
the island. And then so Eric went out, and he's just like fucking booking, like Michael Phelps.
Fucking yeah, dude. Like,
And then he gets about halfway.
I got halfway, dude, and I'm like, I can't breathe. So at this point, dude, I'm just trying to stay afloat, and then I'm like, I think I'm gonna die.
Yeah, well,
like-
we knew because we were all like, we didn't make it as far as you. Everybody else had already given up, and we were looking at you. You were like,
Oh my
and you were like,
God.
dude,
Are you serious?
Dude, we're all high on mushrooms. And, dude, you know the number one thing you love when you're really high on mushrooms is to see somebody gasping for air.
Oh, I'm high as fuck, dude. Just contemplating.
I
my
had totally
whole life,
accepted
dude.
your death, dude. I was like, man, like, what am I gonna say at the funeral? Like,
Dude.
it
Oh
was
man.
wild. But you survived.
I got back and I was just like, thank God, dude. Like I had never like felt so close to death.
So the rest of the story is, I don't know if it's funny, but it is interesting psychologically.
Yeah.
So then everybody starts getting out of the water, right? And they like, I remember like one by one, people are like leaving the water, and they're getting back up on the peninsula. Everybody's kind of like coming down and chilling, but I'm still like really high. Like everybody's coming down, but I'm going up
Yeah.
still. And I remember people getting out of the water, and I was like so hurt by it. I was like so like, where are you guys going? What are you guys, no, we're in the water. We're doing the water thing. They're like, nah, it's time to get out. And I was just like, I felt like abandoned. I was like, what the fuck?
I think I remember that. Yeah,
What
yeah.
the
You
fuck,
were like
dude?
super
And I
attached to the water.
Yeah, and I
were
wouldn't,
very
I
attached.
wouldn't come out for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then I started getting angry. And I was watching everybody up around the fire. I was like, fuck you guys. Fuck you, dude. We were in the water and you fucking betrayed me. And they were like, just come out of the water, dude. I was like,
I remember
fuck
that.
you, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And then
would not leave.
I finally they coaxed me out of the water, dude. And I get out of the water.
You're still naked.
I'm the only naked one. Everybody else has their clothes on. I'm still naked in the water. And then I get out of the water and I kind of like slither up onto land and I stand up straight and I look down at my shriveled ginger root of a penis and I'm cold and I'm dripping water and I'm like, I have no idea who the fuck I am. I totally forgot who I was. I think it's called ego death.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea.
This is all coming back to me. This is crazy.
I was like, I have no idea who the fuck I even am. And then I just walk up to the fire and I'm just naked, but not like covering myself. I'm just like,
Dude, I have a picture of me, you, Queen, and someone else just naked by the fire.
ass
Hell
naked
no.
by the fire.
Yeah, it exists.
She was like, hell
we're,
no.
we're all carrying 40s, just
You still got my email.
Halfway.
You can forward that to me.
it's like halfway covering our junk, dude. It's just us just high out of our
But
minds.
I
just
couldn't remember
naked.
who the fuck I was.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember, and people kept telling me, they'd be like, your name is Chance Willie. I was like, no, it's fucking not. That's not a real name. And I just remember it was like the hardest thing I ever had to do was like remember who I was. Like I went and sat
that
down
sounds
by
scary.
I went down and sat down by the water and I was like looking at the water and it was like black. It looked like a black sheet of glass. And I was looking at my like reflection in the black water with the fire behind it. And I would have like these like snap, like these like a lightning bolt of like a memory would come into my head of like my life.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that's a lie. Like, that's not who
Yeah.
I am. Like, who am I?
Yeah.
And it was the hardest thing I ever had to do up until that point was like, remember who I was.
Isn't that nuts?
It was very nuts. I learned a lot about myself that night. It was crazy. Yeah.
That was like early on in our.
Well, I
life,
started
too.
thinking about like a lot. Recently, I started thinking about like, was there a part of my brain that like wanted to forget who I was?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was like
Very well might have been, man. 'Cause-
yeah, which would explain like the escapism through drugs and alcohol. You know, not to take it too deep, but I still think about that a lot. You know, I don't think drugs are good for having. I feel like I've always thought about it like mushrooms are like they're like therapy is walking through the airport, but mushrooms are like that thing where you like it's like the
thing that just
where
you
you
through.
that just scoots you through. Yeah, that just scoots you through real quick. Like
if
you want to get to a realization very quickly, but here's the thing about that is when you're getting off that fucking thing at the airport, if you're not careful, you will bust your ass, dude. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I remember we took shrooms at Tanner's one time, and I don't know why, but I couldn't talk.
Oh yeah, you were in a dark fucking place, dude.
Yeah,
that was the first time I was like, "Yo, Eric is like got some evil energy in him." Dude.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. to me,
Eric didn't speak for like 3 hours, and then we would try to talk to him, and he would just have like this dead Ted Bundy glare in his eyes. I was like, "Yo, Eric has seen some shit, dude."
Oh man, I was
into it. I like that stuff though. I liked like scary stuff when I was on mushrooms. I was like, let's think about death.
I just like let's think about let's go there.
Kind of obsessed with. I've never done shrooms, but I've been obsessed with like the idea of like the ego death situation.
The ego death.
Josh, Josh Wolf.
Yeah,
he like is adamant about it. He thinks it's like a life changing.
Really
thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so me and Nate were kind of going on watching some guys talk about it, and there's just one neuroscientist who described it as like he did it for like a study because he was like, it's supposed to be like the next. Some people believe it's like the next evolution of your thinking.
Really?
He did it as a study for himself. So he sat in a dark room, and did like, I guess there's like a certain amount,
right?
That's like where you can go on a good trip or whatever,
right?
And he did that, and he had his vocabulary is so large that he described it unlike anyone I ever heard.
Right.
Well, he said that there was one moment where he felt like he's like, what it feels like to be loved, but what do you call something, like what's a word for feeling all the love that you never felt in the past, in the future, and current all at once?
Oh, it's going to make me cry. God damn.
And that's how he felt.
Really?
It was, and that's what his trip was like.
Interesting.
And I was like, geez, that's insane. Like, I'm curious about
And he's
that.
describing ego death when he talks about this.
Yes, exactly.
Isn't that so interesting that all the pain that we ever feel as people is directly related to our identity as individuals? That there's like this amazing love that comes through like accepting like the idea that you are not just you are like a community of organisms. You're a community of organisms within a community of organisms. And through that, there's like this incredible relief, because all the fear we ever have as people, like the reason we have religion and the reason we have all this shit is like we're terrified of fucking death because me, capital I, this guy, me, important stand-up comedian, this guy is going to die, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't die. And then when you let go of that, you just like, it's this amazing, you're like, it doesn't matter. Like there's this huge fucking... Not like go kill yourself, but like it's okay when it happens. Like you'll unfold it into this just like
I definitely agree. Yeah,
everlasting love that is like all of time. I used to
always think about that girl when I was like younger. I was like, I don't want to die. Like that's
That's scary,
like you don't want to think about that, but like it was in my head.
Yeah, but I think the only way through it, the only way it won't really mess up and freak you out is to just kind of accept that it's going to happen and deal with it in realistic terms.
Which is what I've kind of done over the past years. And like, I feel like it's made me like a lot happier, a lot more. It's very liberating.
Yeah. What's helped me with the death is actually, I thought about it and I was in the sense of like, it's like one of the few things that you're actually not alone in. Yeah. Because I feel like even if you're married or in a long-term relationship with your parents, like at the end of the day, you're alone. And I used to think of death like we had to just die alone. Regardless, but then scary. I was like, actually, no. Everyone has to come to terms with that.
Yeah, it's the only thing everybody has to do.
More peaceful.
Yeah,
it's like everyone has to do that. And then if that's the case, if it's that simple of an idea, then it must be a situation where we just have to find a way to cope with it because the only other option is to be super afraid.
You must do it. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? Yeah. So it's like it's the one thing we have to learn how to cope. It's the one thing we all have in common. Louis C.K. had a bit on his last special that just won a Grammy. Actually, and he said, COVID was the first time we all had the same problem. Right. It was like everyone in the same world, and some people we dealt with it in different ways, right? Yeah. Some people started being like, mean as fuck and being like, wear a mask and yelling at people. Other people started being like, I don't even think this is fucking real. You know, like we dealt with it in a lot of different ways, but it was the first time we all had to deal with the same fucking thing. Yeah. And that should give you empathy for everyone, no matter how they dealt with it. True. That's how I think about it. Yeah. And that was what was really disheartening about the pandemic for me. It was like, I didn't see empathy on either side for anybody. Like this thing that had literally never, ever, ever, ever happened in history before happened to everybody at once. And nobody knew how the fuck to deal with it. And we all started going, this is how you should fucking deal with it. And nobody had any empathy for anybody because we were all freaking out. And I feel like if you expand that metaphor into the idea of death, like everyone you ever meet, ever in your life, your family members, your friends, your strangers, the guy working at the gas station, the homeless guy outside of the gas station asking you for money, we all have to come to terms with death. This thing that is fucking, can you imagine anything fucking scarier? Everyone you've ever met has to deal with the scariest thing you can possibly fucking imagine. And when you think about that, it like makes your heart break for people. If you try to keep that in mind, like when somebody cuts you off in traffic, it should make you want to fucking, it should give you empathy for that person if you remember.
That's a good point, dude. I never thought about it.
It's your heart should break for everyone you meet.
Because they're equally as scared, if not more.
We're all fucking terrified. That's the reason we have any of this shit, the lights and the camera and the fucking everybody. Like we're all just trying to make fucking sense of this thing and do something before we die. And it's like nobody's ever gonna feel good about it, you know. And we're all just gonna be like, am I doing the right thing? Everybody feels like that all the time. Everybody you meet. So it should just give you this amazing empathy for people. It's just hard to keep it in mind all the time because life is very painful and fucked up.
It is, man.
Yeah. But the ego death thing is, I think, a good way to get into that. A good way to.
I'm afraid if I do shrooms or something, bro, I'm gonna like come out gay or something.
Come out gay?
Like, there's
I'm like, come out gay?
No, there's
Damn, we come out gay, dude.
No, because I'm also nervous. I feel like I'm gonna get the scary aspect. I'm gonna have a bad trip.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna come out gay. That's the scariest thing he can imagine. It's like, fuck death, dude. Can you imagine sucking a dick? Dude, that's scarier than dying. Like, put my ass in a coffin. Don't put a dick in my ass.
I'm afraid I'll be good at it.
Yeah.
So I ain't doing doggy style.
Here's the craziest thing is if you come out gay, that shit was already in there, bro. It's not gonna make you gay. Yeah, dude.
So now you're gonna die and be gay.
Yeah, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude. It's not gonna make you gay. It's not the music of G-Eazy. It can't make you gay. It can't just turn you gay, bro.
Jeez,
dude. One listen will turn him gay.
Dude, that's what happened to me. I had a whole thing. All right, but yeah, man. I hope that wasn't too.
No, you're good.
No, I'm not good. I always do this. I'm like, I'm sorry if that was too deep. No, that's the only important thing.
No, that's part of the podcast. I want to talk about this one night where me and Chance stayed up writing songs. It's like 6 in the. We were writing one song, and we stayed up all night.
I used to think I was a rapper.
And
really? I was a rapper, I guess, technically, yeah.
But the moral of the story is I got fired the next day because I did not make it to work. And all because we were writing like some shitty song that we thought was going to be like life-changing.
That should really tell you everything you need to know about our friendship growing up is that we prioritized like making a beat on GarageBand over like being able to pay rent.
We'll take this Adderall, we'll write this song, we'll be famous by the morning, and then that was
nobody ever heard it. It was bad.
It was so bad.
It's still on the internet. I forgot to log in, so I can't take it down. And it's like deeply misogynist, probably. Dude, you know what I mean? Because we were just listening to like.
You'll get canceled 10 years from now. Find it.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics are just like.
It would be. I kind of think about getting canceled, kind of like death, where I'm like, I used to be so terrified of it, but now I'd be like, what a relief that would be. Fucking, if I could just stop all this shit and just like, I could just be a normal guy. Because you can't get canceled from real life.
No,
that's true.
You know what I mean? I could just be a normal guy. I wouldn't have to worry about this. I could like delete all my social media.
I'm so weird about like. I don't think cancellation is like necessarily a real thing. I think that like if Louis C.K. can come back, if Chris D'Elia can come back, if all these guys can come back and still do great work, then were they really ever canceled?
Yeah.
But do you think that some people didn't? I feel like there's a lot of people who couldn't come back. Especially like I feel like in the like the direct to consumer route, like YouTubers, for instance.
Your art has to be good enough for you to come back.
That makes sense. That makes more sense because Louis is one of the greats.
Yeah, your art has to. Yeah, he is. He's.
But the word cancel gets thrown around so much. Cancel.
Well, I feel like it's. I think honestly, I think people are what I've noticed is I think people want to support people who get canceled because everyone in normal life makes mistakes. Everyone in normal life has done like horrible fucked up shit and hopefully had the room to grow from it.
Yeah.
Or they had other people in their life who didn't give them the room to grow for it and they made them feel guilty and made them feel bad. So I think whenever you see somebody like Louis who made mistakes have everything ripped away from him, it really makes people feel empathy. Yeah. Because they go, you know what, man? Like, I've done fucked up shit. Like, what if somebody in my life weren't going to give me an opportunity to grow from it?
Kids and like he's this whole. I mean, like,
so I try to, when I think about canceling now, I just don't worry about it, and I try to think about like, if that were ever to happen, like if that were to happen to me because I said something dumb on a podcast or so, like what happened to Shane Gillis, or something. Yeah. I just hope that people would give me space and empathy, and that and that at the end of the day, like, I've learned how to give myself a break. So that's all that you can really do.
Because like nowadays you have like the TikTok culture, which is very just like, can't do this, you can't do this, you can't, you know what I mean?
And you can't do. I mean, the real world is like, I love what Shane Gillis said on Joe Rogan when they brought him on, and he was talking about how he got canceled from SNL, and he said, Joe Rogan was like, isn't that bullshit they did that to you? And he was like, no, it's not, because that was my job, and I broke the rules at my job, and I got fired. That's what being an adult is, you're not allowed to just do and say whatever you want all the time and treat people however you want. You have to be accountable for your actions. Of course. I just think you should be able to grow from your actions. You know what I mean? And accountability is not a bad thing. I think accountability is good, and I think if you are accountable and fucking not like the bullshit PR, like I'm sitting down and listening and learning from this, but if you just go through it, like, I did some fucked up shit, but I'm going to keep making art because it's all I know how to do, and you can rock with that or not. And I think that's kind of where Louis' head was at. I worked with Louis last year, and you can say cancellation's not real, but that dude went through like a dark, hard time.
Oh, I can only imagine.
He lost friends, but he learned a lot about friendship from it. Like he had, his life was incredibly informed in a lot of beautiful ways by his cancellation. Yeah. So it's like, regardless, you can't control what people are going to do or say about you. You can only control how you process what's happening to you. Right. So I can sit here and get mad and like try to make a Andrew Schultz Instagram reel and be like, turn your phone sideways, I'm going to show you something. Like I can try to do that all day, but it's not going to change how people feel or act. All I can do is like be comfortable with who I am as a person and trust that I'm growing in the right direction. Right. So I don't know. But yeah, it is. But yeah, of course, dude. I think it's fucked up and stupid. I've had so many conversations. Like comedians have this conversation every time you're at doing anything. I've been having this conversation for 5 fucking years about cancel culture. Like, it's fucking bull. And I went through every phase of it. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit, man. This is like straight white males can't get anything anymore. Like I've done, and then I've been like, I did the part where I was like, no, people need to sit down and listen, and fucking Black Lives Matter. I've done the whole thing. I've done the whole thing, and all I've come to it is just like, nobody has any idea what the fuck we're doing, and just try to have empathy and get through it. Like that's all I know what to say anymore.
I mean, a lot of people, I don't know, man. I'm at the point where it's just like, I just watch what I do, watch what I say, try to be the best person, and hopefully that just attracts the right people, and like. Right. I mean,
you also can't get canceled if nobody knows who the fuck you are. Facts. So I think about that with me too. I'm like, when I think about like, am I gonna get canceled? I'm like, who's gonna do it? Oh yeah, nobody knows who the fuck I am yet. Like,
so true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a lot of it is also narcissism when I think about it. I'm like, oh, dude, everybody's thinking about what I do and say all the time. No, it's like nobody gives a fuck about what you should be so lucky to get canceled that like enough people know who you are to be able to do that.
I seen a quote the other day. It was like it was pretty broad, but it was like you can tell if someone is one way to tell if someone's healthy or not is if they get if you say if they don't get offended at everything you say. Yeah. But if they're not healthy, they get offended at everything that you say. And it's like actually no one cares. Yeah. Like why are you offended? We weren't talking about you. Like I think that's one
way I know somebody is healthy or not is if they take advice into their life from Instagram infographics? If the answer is yes, they're probably a fucked up crazy person. Yeah.
Probably a psychopath.
Infographic.
Yeah, that's what you were like, oh, it's neither. Yeah, but that's why I know you're a healthy person. You look at the infographic and you don't go, this is the truth automatically. You think about what you're seeing.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people take the information from.
Have y'all seen those satire ones where it's like, there's just one satire infographic, like inspirational one. It's like, everyone. It's like,
I like
best
those.
Way to, it's like the best way to to love yourself is to make sure that, you only do things that apply to your career, and you're like, and it's like it has like the moon and the stars. And
It's so
those
funny. Are so like positive affirmations.
Exactly.
That page is so good, dude. People are like really like that though. People really think that like the grind set is like healthy.
Stupid.
Like the 100, like that. People literally saw the 100 emoji and said, "Facts. That's me. That's who I'm gonna be as a person." 100. It's like, dude, everyone can't stand you.
I have to ask this because I'm curious, but is it okay to smack someone who makes jokes?
Is it the Will Smith thing?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
From a comedian standpoint.
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. But it was really funny. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
There was a million memes.
We just talked about this on Steve Burns' podcast. I co-host a Comedy Pinata, and we watch like clips and shit.
How's that going, by the way? I've seen
really fun.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we have fun, and I go open for Steve Burns on the road. We have a lot of fun together.
He's so funny. He's good.
We do. We just did one. Go watch the episode if you like the Will Smith, Chris Rock shit, which I guess is everybody right now. We did a whole we watched a whole comedians getting assaulted montage, like a whole compilation video, and went through each one. This is where we landed on it. Okay. If the comedian aggresses and is baiting somebody into getting smacked, I think it's okay. But because Chris Rock dropped back in the pocket and Will Smith invaded his space, But we watched one where a guy he was a guitar comic.
I was ready to bring that up, dude. That was hard bodied. Yeah. Even though he was wrong.
Yeah.
The hell out of that man with that guitar.
That man had no bitch in his heart that day.
At all. Have you seen that, Eric?
No, I gotta watch
it's wild. The crowd turns on him so fast.
Fast. Because he shouldn't have done that. He smacked. I mean, he busted
But he
a guitar.
came out of his zone and he stepped into an audience member's zone and stepped into the audience and cracked the dude in the head. Chris Rock dropped back and let Will Smith come to him. So Will Smith is the aggressor. That's true. But at the end of the day, dude, Chris Rock is also my favorite comedian in the world. So I'm a little biased, but you just have to watch celebrity stuff is you can't start identifying as anybody in it. That's the brain trap of narcissism of oh yeah, well if I was Chris Rock in this situation, you would never be. Stop right there. You will never be as famous as Chris Rock. And no one will ever come to your show, and no one will ever try to slap you because you have nothing interesting to say. Stop right there. That's okay.
Reality check.
That's okay. Just work at Warby Parker. Nobody. That's okay. You can have a fulfilling life, but this doesn't mean anything about your life.
Yeah.
It me more than anybody I know who talks about it, except people who are more actually have careers, should be worried about it. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't mean anything. People aren't gonna see that and then be like, oh, it's okay to slap people now at a comedy show. I don't think people. No, not people at all. Are generally normal, good people. I don't think. Will Smith is my mom. It's so funny to watch my mom. She loves Will Smith, and she loves, she just boomers think actors are good people, So not you know what I mean? They're real people. They're no, dude, this guy's
feelings,
he's been famous for 20 plus years. The thing that does to your brain, Louis told me, he was you try to remain grounded as best you can, but it just fucks up your brain. There's nothing you can do about it when you're that famous. And his brain is fucked up. He's been no one said no to Will Smith in 25 years.
Of course.
Except Jada. Know what I'm talking about? Let's fucking go. No, but that's hack. But when these aren't normal people. Billionaires don't act and operate like normal people. They're crazy.
They've been raised a different way, man.
Yeah, it's look at the news. Look at the Weinstein shit. Look at the Epstein shit and be like, it's crazy Will Smith smacked somebody. It's like, is it? Is it crazy that a billionaire acted a little wacky?
That's true.
Yeah, it's maybe people in Hollywood are
just different.
We just worship celebrities, and they're the most insane people on the planet, and that's why people are starting to become insane now because everybody is trying to. I mean, pot calling the kettle black. I'm trying to be in entertainment, but it's like everybody now is like, I'm a TikTok star. It's like we're fucking brain dead. We're gonna lose World War III. Yeah. But anyway, there's my thoughts on the fucking thing or whatever.
Watch the podcast.
Hey, I mean, I feel like I'm always, I don't know. I'm a little bit doomer pilled on stuff.
No, you're good.
No, but I think it's also people are good. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
No. Yo, quick question, Chance. Would you rather get booed out of your first Netflix special, or?
I thought it was bomb.
Oh,
would I rather bomb a Netflix special or get booed?
Would you rather bomb a Netflix
special?
special?
Do you guys just need me to host this podcast? Should I just
Might as well. I'm going off the subject.
So wait, what's the question? It's bomb?
Yeah, would you rather bomb your first Netflix special or get booed out?
Or get booed out.
Yep, I want to know.
Of the Netflix special or just booed out of like a regular club show?
Netflix special.
I get booed or bomb?
Yeah.
Fuck. And they're taping, so I'm either just bombing and they're like quiet and not comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, because you would just edit laughs in.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, but if you get booed out, I don't know. Booed out would objectively, I'd rather see that than somebody bomb. Yeah. I'd rather see somebody get booed. I'd be in there like, because you watch so much comedy. The only thing that even starts to move your dick a little bit is seeing somebody fail at like an extravagant level.
I feel like that would just kill my ego.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It actually, no, it inflates your ego because you start to sulk and like, oh, I'm blah, blah, blah. You know? Like it does. Ego, anything you're doing in front of people publicly only inflates your ego. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It would but I would, if I started bombing a Netflix special, my brain would go into just speak confidently as if I'm crushing right now. And they could be crickets, and I'm such a sociopath, I would just power through it. Well, I'd do my timing right. And they would just, if you're actually there, you'd be like, yo, he's eating a dick. And then in post, we would just clean it up. That's good. And we would just pump laughs in, and it would look like I'm crushing.
I heard, I watched an interview with Sebastian Maniscalco, and he was like, his first SNL taping, he like absolutely bombed it.
Yeah.
Just bombed. Total bomb.
Yeah.
And I guess they ended up, adding in like a laugh track or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, it was the most humbling experience.
Oh, dude.
I was just like,
that's got to be, humbling is a good word for it, man. Like that's, bombing your dick off is like.
Even like at that level, he was talking about, he's like, I'm very established. Like I'm not just starting out. Like I'm doing SNL. Yeah. And it still happened.
Yeah,
and I was just like, wow, it
can happen to anybody at any place. You can get got whenever.
You can catch these hands whenever.
That's the cool thing about comedy is like, I almost said art form, but gay. But no, that is the thing about comedy is like a medium as opposed to other things. It's like Bob Dylan's never gonna bomb,
right?
Ever again.
Yeah, he's Gucci.
Once you're in, you can't bomb ever again.
Right.
Like if you're music is good no matter what. If you go see an open mic night with 5 people, a musician's going to be as good, if they're good, as if there were 3,000 people there. The music is good, period. This music is good. We like it. Done.
Right.
Can't bomb. Comedy is so dependent upon the audience and like a million.
That is weird, isn't it, man? I feel like it's weird for you guys because it's like your joke's not going to hit the same every show. It's going to be different.
No, it can't because it's like a million factors. It's like how I'm feeling that day. Did I have a good breakfast? Did everybody here have a good breakfast? Yeah. Did they work today?
How many rednecks are here?
Are there a lot? I'm going to fucking crush.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm going to hack it up and I'm going to talk about fast food and we're going to roll this motherfucker right under the table and I'm going to phone it in, Yeah. But, or it's like, do they like me? Am I like... Do I remind them of their nephew who like annoys them and shit? Like shit you don't even think about. Like it's just such a like every time you go up you're like, all right, here we go. It's not like you can't like phone it in and just do your set list and just be like whatever. I mean sometimes you can if it's like a really hot crowd.
It's different with music because like the audience knows your music. They're coming to hear your music because they relate to your music. Yeah, the people are coming because they heard you're funny. They don't know what you're gonna say, but they heard you're funny. Hopefully, it's relatable.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And even if you're good, like people will go see you if you're a famous comedian, but like you still hear people be like, "Yo, I was a dude of this fan forever. I went to a show and it sucked, and it changes the way they look at you. You know, it's like you have to stay on your P's and Q's and be writing and like keep it tuned up.
I never knew how much writing comedy took until like watching you and like all the guys. Like you guys are constantly cranking out content.
You gotta write all the fucking time. The hard thing about comedy, and I don't write as much as I should, but like the writing isn't done once it's you. Like I don't sit if I sit down and write a joke on my phone at 2:00, it's not done until I try it at 7:00.
Right.
The writing process demands the audience be there.
Right.
So it just takes forever. Like I can't just write a song on my phone and be like, yes, that sounds good. Now I'm done with it. I have to like take it on stage and then I have to like workshop it for through like 5 to 10 to however long. I got bits I've been working on for fucking years that I keep adding shit to. It's like it's fun. You get the momentum of it and it becomes rewarding. But it is.
Have you ever
like,
noticed like
sometimes
like some of your bits like because I often think about this. I was like, well, like if I have like a 6-minute slot, like how many bits would you put in that 6-minute or that 10-minute slot?
Oh yeah, it kind of depends. It's like what 10 minutes. It's like I got like a standard that I do. 6 minutes. I'm a freak the shit a little bit. I'm gonna just go like one-liners or like my shorter jokes and just like rapid fire probably, or I'm gonna do like 2 longer stories.
Right.
And then with like when you start doing longer sets is like that's why I hate doing shorter sets because you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
You think it's like scarier to do like longer time, but it's actually once you have material, it's much better because you can relax.
I feel like
you can be like build
take a step back
and you can
actually enjoy.
You can put time in the middle. I can dedicate like 10 to 15 minutes in the middle of a set just on new shit. Yeah. Which is like such a load off. Yeah. So then you like do shit works at the beginning. And then the middle, the stuff you're most uncomfortable about, you just sandwich it in the middle. And then if it starts like not doing well, you just start doing your closers. And you're like, I know this will work.
You have your heaters at the end.
Yeah, so,
smart.
But short time, like doing, like I just did a set for like some Peacock taping and it was like I had 8 minutes clean. And that was like, what do I do? Like that was way more stressful than just being like, you're doing 30. Just go have fun, I'd rather do that.
Dude, how is as of like the past couple years, how's life like without alcohol? Because I remember like growing up, we always like fucked around and got drunk and got fucked up.
At first, it's awesome, where you're like, oh, dude, I'm clean, I'm clear-headed, my career's going in the right direction, I'm losing weight, right? And then like now I'm like 2 years in, and it's like anything else, like. The worst part about getting sober is when you lose like the initial like high. There's a euphoria. Yeah. When you first get off booze, because you're like, oh, I feel so good.
Yeah, I feel so clean. Like...
And then like 2 years in, when you just start feeling like shit, you're like, oh yeah, life is just makes you feel like shit. Like you still have to wake up and go to work. You still have to like, oh man, when you just start feeling like shit again, and you just have to like, you can't escape. Yeah. You just have to deal with it. You're just like, just back to the mundane reality.
Do you think that's like the booze, or that's just like real life?
That's just life.
It's just life.
Real life is just hard, and like your sleep, you start noticing everything. It's kind of like whenever, Daredevil, when he lost his sight, like his hearing gets really good. When you stop doing booze and you just always kind of feel shitty, like you're always just kind of waking up hungover, and you're just like in this rhythm where like, I guess I just feel like shit all the time, but it's kind of romantic. Now, whenever. It's like all my senses got heightened where I'm like, if I eat like shitty food, I'm like, that's, I can really feel it. I think that's aging a little bit too. But, or like, like my sleep schedule is like, I'm very like particular about my sleep schedule now. Like if it's off a little bit, like I really notice the effect it'll have on me. Like my senses for other stuff that can affect you has been heightened, if that makes sense. No, but also I don't mean to sound so negative about it. Also in a positive way, like exercise, I really notice like how much it improves my life and improves my mental well-being because all the other stuff.
I have to agree, man. I've been on like a little kick as of the past like month or two, because when I was in Hawaii, I was just kind of like hiking all the time and surfing all the time and just being active, and it's kind of carried over since I've been back. I've just kind of just been in the gym almost every day.
Good, man. You look good. You look good. You always kind of look good though. Yeah, I know, you got good genes, Yeah, that's not your pants. Your pants suck, but your genetics are wonderful.
Before I was just like, I don't know, I was just like drinking, like especially like out of college and shit. Like I was just drinking way too much.
Yeah, it's Duncan Trussell said at one time. He's like, I'm literally putting poison in my body. Yeah. I recommend getting sober if you're interested in it. What I want to do is just to be able to moderate one day. Yeah. I just have an issue with moderation in general. It's and when once you take one bad thing out of your life, you see what the root of it is, right? And for me, it's eating. The way I learned to eat growing up was just like, if I have food in front of me, I just binge it.
Same. I eat so much.
Yeah. That flesh would speak. But when that flesh is weak, brother, and when it's
brother.
weak, it speaks. And when it speaks, it fucking screams, brother.
Dude.
Give that flesh a microphone.
Can we talk about that? I don't know if we should.
No, we shouldn't.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how I learned to eat. And once I stopped drinking, I was like, oh, this is where it all started for me. It's like I consume everything. I consume media like I consume food. I consume alcohol like I consume food. I would just binge.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do now is develop a healthy relationship with food and consumption in general. And if I can successfully do that and reach a place where I feel good about it, then maybe I'll revisit drinking later in my life once I've built the skills to be able to moderate. Does that make sense?
You think some of it has to do with maybe some accountability, maybe to like
totally
have someone, or maybe yourself, or have someone just holding you accountable? Because I feel like that always kind of helps me with like any struggle I'm going through. Like I kind of have to have someone holding me accountable if it's not myself, because like it's easy for me to like cheat myself or cheat on a diet or
I think
this or that the other,
whatever, but I think it's important that whoever is holding you accountable is not somebody who's going to make you feel guilty.
Right.
This is my big thing right now. I think guilt is like the reason everything's so fucked up. So I think the biggest thing you do is like, don't guilt yourself. That's what I don't like about the program. It's like very guilt oriented.
Yeah.
So for me, the most healthy thing for me has just been like, taking care of myself and just giving myself some space to be like, yo, it's okay that you feel fucked up. It's okay that you want to drink. Yeah. It's okay that everything's, I think just giving yourself some space and acceptance and a little bit of the whatever.
Sounds a lot healthier too, because
accountability is difficult for me because it's like, I'm kind of like a narcissist again. So I don't think anybody knows more than anything. You are a fucking narcissist. Yeah, I know.
Psychopath.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't think anybody. I fundamentally don't think anybody knows more than me. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, is somebody gonna be accountable? Like somebody who doesn't read? Okay, you're gonna tell me what to do? So I'm a little bit of an asshole. So what worked for me started in something not healthy, where I was like, I'm just gonna see how many fucking days I can do this. Yeah. Like it was like a challenge. It was like I'm very competitive. I'm a Taurus. I'm an Earth sign, so I'm very goal oriented. Yeah. So for me,
what I'm doing with semen retention. So
semen retention.
Same vibes.
He's the Scottie Pippen of NoFap. But
that's funny, bro.
But yeah, man, I just think it's like I just set a goal for myself. I was like, I'm gonna try and do. I did a month. I was like, I'm gonna do sober October, and there was accountability. All my friends did it. We're like, let's see if we can do a month.
I like that.
And then after a month, I just felt so good. I was like, I'm gonna see if I can do a year.
Yep.
Then you do a year, you're like, shit. I told everybody I'm sober now. Now I can't get off the wagon. Everybody's gonna think I'm a loser. Yeah. And then it just starts being how you live your life. I don't really crave alcohol. I'm hopelessly addicted to caffeine and nicotine, but
yeah, whatever.
What are you gonna do?
I got a little segment to show you.
Oh yeah, let's do your little segment.
So, I recently DM'd this girl, and I've never met her before. I just followed her on Instagram like a couple months ago.
He just starts committing to a crime.
No, I said, hey, we should grab a drink sometime.
He's like, hey, I can pick you up from school one day.
And this is what she said. I want you to read this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can I just read the whole interaction? I see you blocked out the horny part you wrote. Like I just said, hey. And then he's like, he put like a black mark over his initial message. She liked it though, so yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the girl. So it's so here's I'm looking at an Instagram DM right now. Eric has said something, replied to a story. He's
kind of fuckboyish, but
no, it's all good. You're in reply guy mode. It's all good. I don't think you should. It's whatever. And then the picture is her. It's two white girls. It's a black and white picture. It's like an artsy monochrome picture of two beautiful white women. And then he says, so you said the initial thing, and then she didn't respond. She liked the message. Then you respond to the picture. You say, so like not to be weird or too straightforward, but we should get drinks sometime. Sometime, ha. I think there's a subject-verb agreement issue there, but I'm going to roll right over that. Ha. Then he spells ha, H-A-H.
Yeah, it's casual. It's casual.
Ha. And then he did the emoji that's like.
I'm keeping it casual, man.
Yeah, okay. And then she says, it's funny that you responded to this pic because the night I met you, I was standing with her. And you looked right at me and said, not to be rude, but I'm trying to hit on your friend.
I don't ever recall saying that.
No, did I really? Crying emoji. Damn. Yeah, that's really fucking rude. I'm on her side.
Yeah, like
That's what I'm saying, dog. I do not remember saying that.
Yeah, that's some. Yeah, you're like.
And that doesn't even sound like
it
me.
doesn't sound like you at all.
So I'm curious.
It doesn't
I'm like,
sound like you at
do
all.
you have the wrong person, or did I really?
No, I don't feel like you're. No, I mean you're kind of shysty in the DMs, but you're kind of like a nice, normal guy to women in real life. I'm saying. Like, you're almost to your detriment. You're kind of like insecure.
A little bit.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, and but that's why I'm like, I don't think I would ever go and say that. But she was like, no, it was you. And
this is like, maybe just a conversation we should have had privately. Like, why were you like, I'm gonna work this out live right now? This is so weird.
Because I wanted to get your take on this because like, is she right or am I right?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there, dude. What do you want me to do?
The question is, did you do it? That's
if you did it,
then you're wrong.
Yeah. If you did it,
I don't remember doing that.
If you did it, that's like that episode of Black Mirror where like Don Draper is like, dude, if you want to pick up chicks, you gotta talk to the friend. Ignore the friend because then the friend is gonna want you. Like that's like some psycho Gary V shit. If you did that, if you didn't do that,
I don't recall doing that.
There's a testament to this. I think it's just that there's a lot of light skinned guys.
There is a lot of light skinned guys that look like me. First
That's what
of all.
it is.
A lot of them got fades. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of them got green eyes.
Yeah.
The name is not Eric Tyler though.
Or here's the thing: you're both drinking. What she remembers is that maybe you paid more attention to her friend than her, right? And you're all talking and you're all maybe a little drunk and your energy is directed at the friend in the way she's remembering it because maybe she's a little insecure, which is we all are, right? All are. Maybe she's processing this as he was more interested than my friend. So in her head, in girl brain, it gets processed through the girl brain where she's creating a narrative where you did something, where you where you directly said something negative to her.
Maybe I did, but I do not recall this interaction. The only reason that like I followed this girl is because Nicole, my old roommate, she sent me her Instagram, was like, hey, she's single, she's super nice, you should hit her up. So I followed her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's it. And she's like, oh yeah, we met at my Whiskey Row. Like we met, we've talked. I'm like, are you sure that was me?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just discovered who you were.
So you didn't even meet her at all?
I don't ever remember meeting her.
So she's just a racist.
Oh. So what was the? I'm actually curious. How did the rest of the conversation go?
I literally would just apologize, and I was like, "Are you sure that was me? Because I've been gone for months." She's like, "Yeah, that was you," and I was like, "Oh well, I'm super sorry. Can I take you out for drinks?"
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get any psycho? Do you get anybody who reply guys to you like crazy?
Like girls?
Girls or guys? Anybody who's sends you crazy shit in your DMs?
I had a guy who likes my legs. Every time I post it,
really?
When I was because when I would post something in the gym or something, he'd be like, "You have nice kneecaps." He followed my YouTube channel.
Kneecaps, huh?
And calves.
That's where he gets
muscles
off.
as well. And he did it 7 times.
I get that though. If a girl has nice knees, or if she has if her knees are all knocked around and all bruised up and stuff,
I love that.
She's like a girl who goes out and parties and falls down and she gets bruised and stuff. And it's okay, you're
must
wild.
be from chat.
That's some Tumblr shit though. That's I was an emo boy type shit.
Yeah, that's some Easter
You know what I mean?
shit.
Or girls with when they wear white tube socks, but they're dirty a little bit. You know what I mean?
So
she definitely has an OnlyFans.
Yeah, absolutely. She has an
100%.
OnlyFans. I'm not gonna subscribe though.
No, you can't subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you lose the war. You know what I mean? I lose.
As soon as you subscribe,
I don't know what I'm losing, but it's I lose if I subscribe. That's kind of the energy.
It's I kind of want to for some people, but it's I know I can't.
And they wear the Reebok vintage classic. You know what I'm talking about?
The top?
No, the shoe.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
The old school,
the retro Reebok. They're not actually old school. They're she bought them at Finish Line.
Oh yeah.
But and then she wore them to a Warp Tour, and they got all fucked up and dirty or something. She's 27, but she went to Warp Tour ironically.
Yeah.
But she was she did enjoy the music.
Those were
tennis skirt. Get the fuck out of here. Tennis skirt?
Oh man.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That turns me on.
That's literally okay, I'm going for a guy who masturbates to Mario Tennis. You know what I mean? And it's bang, 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 bang.